Hello, Smash Critic, subscribers and fans. This is Sam. Excited to do movie review number 2 on Annihilation. This movie came out, I think, February 23rd. Let's see, it stars Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac. And it's really a science fiction drama. I saw it twice, and I think the first time I saw it, I'll get the mood meter out of the way. I was expecting an action movie and was really disappointed, and I wasn't sure if I liked it the first time. Second time seeing it, I loved it. Just kind of more prepared for a more intellectual science fiction movie. I'd say it's way more like Interstellar than any other movie I could think of. So yeah, just be prepared for that. Try to be active-minded when you go there, and not just looking for a creature horror / action movie, which is what it looked like, kind of. And it's got a bit of horror in it, but it's really science fiction-y. So anyways, keep that in mind. Little just warning, there's a little bit of language, and a few scenes of some intense violence. So the acting as the first category, honestly, I had zero problems with acting. I'm gonna automatically give it a 5 out of 5, but I really do think Natalie Portman and all the other actors in this, Jennifer Jason Leigh, like Oscar Isaac, forgot her name, but the girl from Jane the Virgin, I think it's a TV show on Netflix. She did a good job. I think everybody did spotless jobs. So that was really cool. 5 out of 5 for acting. Character development. So this was interesting. It took me a second time seeing it to really catch up onto this, but there's a lot of character development in Natalie Portman, just coming from a debilitated individual to somebody that's strong and can hold their own, and save her husband from whatever's going on with him, and to figure out what's going on in this huge orb that's taken over this forest that seems to be extraterrestrial, but nobody knows what it really is. So anyways, yeah, there's some really good character development there. I mean, it's not a really strong point of the movie. A 4 out of 5 for character development. The next section being dialogue. I'd say that's the only problem I had with this movie, like real problem. And I'd say that just because there was a lot. There was not only a few things that were just like unnecessary, and I just felt like the movie was kind of talking down to me. But also, I think some missteps. They should have spent some time adding in some dialogue that I think would have been more crucial. Like they go into this, like I said, this orb that's taken over this forest, this layer, this sheet of like plasma-looking layer that's gone over the forest, and nobody's come back alive except for one person, and that person's really ill, and for some reason Natalie Portman and her crew goes in with no gas mask on or any protection, and they don't know what's going on inside. So I think that would have been fine if they just explained that a little bit. So there was a bit of missed opportunities in the dialogue, and then just some stuff like Natalie Portman's teaching a biology class and teaching something as simple as each cell comes from an original cell, and everybody's writing it down vigorously, even though they're in a master's program at an Ivy League school. Like, who would need to make sure they know that information? That might be pretty nitpicky, but that's just an example, I think, of the movie a little bit talking down to you. And then in some other areas not explaining well enough. So I get that a 3 out of 5 for dialogue. So the next section, artistic value. That's really the highlight of this movie. The whole movie's beautiful. The setting, the effects, and especially at the ending, the effects are really what bring you back to it. That's why I saw it a second time, is because the ending was just so captivating and beautiful, the special effects they use. But in other ways too, I mean, the cinematography is really beautiful. How they like this layer that's over the forest refracts light that comes into it, and they're always doing shots of, you know, sunlight coming through with like, you know, and showing how it's refracted and whatnot. So anyways, the whole movie is just kind of based in this beautiful setting that's also creepy at the same time. Practical effects are awesome. Like the creatures in this are really cool. Music's great. So I honestly, artistic value, I'd give this a 5 out of 5 again. Story, the narrative or story, you know, again, coming into this movie, you gotta really have expectations to, you know, be ready for a movie that's gonna kind of like twist your mind a little bit and might be confusing a lot of the time. At least it was for me. But I don't think that makes it a bad movie at all, or a bad story for that matter. And all in all, I think that's what they were going for, is a movie that you know, makes you think. I don't like how it goes from past to present to future. It kind of like, I mean, that time travel's not a part of this movie. I'm saying that like she's being interviewed on the events that happened during the movie, and it keeps switching back to that interview and then going back to the present kind of thing. And I don't like that. I feel like you should just have a solid timeline, and we can figure it out for ourselves, you know. So that's why I give it a 4 out of 5. So all in all, we had 2 5 out of 5s, 2 4 out of 5s, and 1 3 out of 5. Which comes out to a solid 4 out of 5 for the entire movie. I think a 4.2 out of 5. So 4 out of 5 for Annihilation, and I think that's pretty spot on. This is a really good movie, I think, and I mean, I don't really do half scores for. I'm not think I'm gonna do it for reviews. I'm just gonna round up or down. So, you know, not necessarily like it's not without its flaws, but 4 out of 5 is way good in my book, and I think you should go see it. Yeah, so Annihilation, definitely the most interesting movie out right now, and I'm still excited about it. Alrighty, well, yeah, that's it for this review on Annihilation. Let me know what you think. If you disagree or agree, what I should do next. Also, if you want to host, I think it'd be really fun. I had my brother do one with me, and I have it lined up to do it with a few friends as well in the near future. So, yeah, let me know. It's going to be really fun, and there's a lot of good movies coming out. Thank you so much.